what I mean? Whoa.
Hello everybody, thank you for tuning into my channel, Breaking the Silence Without Filters. If you're new to this channel, please do not forget to press the like button and subscribe button. Thank you very much guys for being patient with me. I haven't been posting for a very long time, but again, remember, life is messy like that, and sometimes we encounter problems that makes us forget about the journey that we are in. My name is Rasta, very well known as the Lady in Disguise. Hope everybody's okay and you're ready for today's episode. Firstly, I'd like to say thank you for everybody that has been supporting me. Guys, mental health is truly not a very easy topic to talk about, and it's not something you go through just once and you wake up one day and you say you're fine. It's a process. It's something that you keep on going through every single day and building yourself out of it or either deeper into it. So I'd like to thank everybody that always consistently checks up on me, sends me messages, makes sure that they send me things that can actually make me feel better at times, because like I said the last time on my previous video, that mental health is a very messy journey, guys, and the healing part is something that you cannot do by yourself. Hence I said I'm here. Even when you feel like you are in darkness, you feel like your head is underwater, always find that one person that you can always talk to. After my 21 days at the mental institution, I walked out of that place feeling very optimistic. I was excited about what was coming, right? And I knew what I wanted to do. I had an idea of what's going to go next. The first thing, however, was the fact that I knew that I couldn't go back to the work environment that I was in. That was the place that I broke apart, or probably that was just the place that the mirror cracked. The first thing I did when I went out, I decided to go to the office and I decided to resign. At that point in time, I really felt like it was the best thing to do, because I felt I didn't want to surround myself with the energy that had put me where I just came out of. Although I was grateful about it, because I felt like I had found something that I never even knew that existed inside of me. I still felt like I was too fragile to face that same environment and face the very same people that I feel that contributed to the state of mind that I was in. But let me tell you something. Those 21 days were not just about being confined in a place, white walls, and having everybody at your service and having a routinal schedule of what you have to do. It was more about a physical, a mental, and emotional battle that I had to fight that was inside me. So being there was actually you fighting an inner you that you didn't even know that existed. It was hard, guys. It was really hard. Some days I couldn't even wake up. Some days I woke up feeling excited, ready for the day, ready for the activities, and some days I just wanted to sit inside bed and continue watching my Netflix like nothing is happening. But what helped me the most was the fact that I knew where I wanted to go. I knew the people that I had left at home, my family, my 2 sons, and I knew that there was a reason for me to leave. So here I was battling with trying to put myself together, and boom, there was a call that came in from my mom, and she told me that my son was sick and I had to quickly be discharged and come and see him because he was being admitted in another hospital. I don't know how I felt. The only thing I remember is that there was this fear that was inside of me. There was this confusion, there was a fog, a cloud that was hovering around me, and I felt like, what next? Why is this happening? How could he be admitted the same time that I'm also admitted? I'm here trying to fight my own battles, guys. And Now my son is in hospital and he's the youngest, and I didn't even know what was wrong, you know. So I called my doctor and I told him that I needed to get an emergency pass to go to the hospital because I had an emergency with my son being admitted. He told me, okay, it's fine. We did the paperwork, everything was there. I recall my father was the one that came to pick me up. When I went inside the car, there was this silence that was inside the car, and he kept on like gazing his eyes and looking at me, trying to understand what am I feeling, you know. I recall he even asked me, are you okay? But he quickly then changed the topic because he felt like that wasn't the right question to ask me. I didn't say anything. I was just there, quiet, as if I had lost myself, you know, as if I was just in my human form, but my mental self was not even there. Immediately we got to the hospital. I still can't believe my eyes because my little son was on that bed looking lifeless. He had all these tubes around him, around his nose, his hands, and whew. Mind you, this is a son that I had in 7 months, so I have an experience of seeing him like that. And you could imagine if it's your first time having a premature boy or girl, how it feels, and you don't know anything about it, no experience, nobody has told you anything about that before. And now it looks like I'm about to relive the same thing. So I walk close, I touch him, he just moves and he opens his eyes like a little bit and looks at me, and he gives me a deep, quiet, very slight smile and continues sleeping. Now my heart is palpitating. I don't even know whether am I catching my breath or am I suffocating. I'm not really sure what was happening. Then I look for the nurse. I need to understand what is happening, and I ask them what's wrong. They tell me my son has got pneumonia. I'm like, you what? And yeah, she says it's pneumonia. I'm like, how? I mean, he's barely a year old and you're telling me my son has got pneumonia. I don't even know what pneumonia is, guys. It's a big word. I pull my phone and I open Google and I'm like Googling, trying to understand what it is. And yeah, to my shock, I'm like, wow, this boy is so young. Now, what's happening in my mind is a battle, you know? And it was me asking God at that time, why? Why? Because, okay, what's happening? I don't understand. Fill me in. Like, how do you expect me to heal mentally, as they saying I've got like depression and anxiety? Because guys, remember, this happened 10 days me being in hospital, then I have to leave and go and deal with this situation. Now, I'm not even settled first with the fact that they just told me that I'm suffering from depression and anxiety. I don't even know what that is. And I'm still trying to pull my head together around that with all the medication that they keep on giving me. And now I'm being told that I need to deal with such a situation. It was tough. It was a lot, you know. It was a couple of days later, I just recall my son was coming back from surgery because the situation got worse. I was sitting there outside his surgery and I was waiting for the nurse to come back and tell me that everything went well. I remember my heart was palpitating, guys, and I remember I couldn't breathe. I kept on singing this song by, I think it's Sipho. The song that says, "Ujesu ufike ekuseni." I kept on singing that song inside of me, and the rhythm kept on going higher and higher and higher. I'm not going to sing for you guys. I'm not a very good singer, but I can sing in my heart. So I kept on just singing the song. I don't know where it came from, but it just kept on telling you, just sing. And I knew that by the time he comes, everything is going to be okay. But guys, guess what? They kept on opening the doors, and the doors kept on shutting behind them. And I was looking at their faces. They had these strange looking faces. Nobody was smiling. Nobody was saying anything that was calming. They just passed as if I wasn't even there. At some point, I thought probably I was invisible. And my heart just kept on beating. A lot of thoughts came to my mind. Nobody's saying anything. They told me the surgery was supposed to be an hour. I look at my watch. It's 15 minutes past an hour, guys. It's like, what happened? Nobody's saying anything. Now I'm waiting for those doors to open, and I'm waiting for my son to just come out of those doors. It didn't happen. I recall I knelt down and I did a short prayer. Long 1 hour 30 minutes of waiting, I finally hear the door open again. But this time there's a lady coming out. I can't really tell what her face bears because it was just neutral. Whether is it good news or bad news, I didn't know. I tried to read it, but I couldn't. I just couldn't. She just had a neutral face. And I am there, my heart is beating so fast, but I'm still holding on that it's impossible. It can't be bad news. She walks up to me and she says, "Are you mother of the boy that is inside?" I'm like, "Yes." She's like, "You need to follow me, please. He won't be coming out through these doors because we had a complication." Ooh. It's not what I was waiting for. Complication? She's like, "Yeah, but yeah, let's just go. Follow me." So I could see she's not willing to tell me anything. And I'm just like, okay, complication. God, it can't be what I'm thinking. It can't be what I'm thinking. Then I follow. We walk. And I'm trying to keep up to her fast pace. And in my mind, I'm like, God, please, it can't be. The next thing, I get to the ward, and there's my son. That was the most disturbing sight I've ever seen. It was eyesore. He had all these tubes around him, this huge oxygen bottle next to him. He was quiet. He wasn't moving. He wasn't saying anything. And the hard part is that they now tell me they had a complication because they found out that my son had a sore inside of him that they had to abscess, actually, that's the word, that they had to flush out. So they had to flush it out, and yeah, then that means that his breathing is not going to be okay because now he needs to breathe through a tube. I'm like, okay. So around about, I think, 15 nurses run into his room and they tell me I need to wait outside because they're trying to just stabilize his tubes and everything to put him in the breathing machines. So they're busy inside there doing this whole thing, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, thank God he's alive, he's alive. After, I think, 15 to 20 minutes waiting period, they come out and they're like mumbling in between, and they're saying, yo, today was a day, what a day. You know, finally we got it. Just before the last nurse walked out of the room, I hear a beep, a very sharp one. It's the machine. My son was flatlining. Yes, my son's life was leaving his body. They turned with a speed I've never seen. Everybody. This time it wasn't just the 15 nurses I saw inside there. It was the whole ward. Everybody rushed into my son's room. They were shouting, bring this, bring that, no, bring this. And I'm thinking, oh Lord. Do you know the moment that sticks with me is when one of the nurses, she's a specialist, she's actually the one that does the nutrition to the little babies that are there, comes to me and holds me on the shoulder, and she pets me and says to me, I'm sorry. How do you tell a mom, I'm sorry? It hasn't been confirmed that my son is dead yet, you know. We just heard the beeping sign, and now you're telling me you're sorry, and I'm in my mind, I'm thinking, what? I won't lie to you. I did think of giving up and just accepting it. But I guess it's motherly instinct. There was a fire that just came from the bosom of my belly, and I shouted my son's name, and I said, no ways, you're not going. I called him with all his names, and I declared him back to life. But, well, the next thing I recall, it was me back in the hospital. Come on, guys, I had to finish my session. My 21 days had to finish. I had gone through so much trauma, and that was another trauma on top of the trauma that I was already bringing through. I was sitting there in the hospital now. I wasn't even sure if I wanted to be there. But I recall really wanting to speak to my psychologist and telling him what exactly happened. Guys, it's not easy. Life doesn't stop because you have a problem. Life doesn't stop because you're not okay. Things keep on piling and piling, and at some time you feel like everything is just going so wrong, and it is. It's like at the point where you feel you need to breathe, that's where something comes and hits you again. Those white walls that I walked through every single day for those 21 days, little did I know that they were going to be the place where I could find my breath again, my strength, and to figure out who I was. To be honest, at first, I really didn't want to be there. Because to me, it felt like I was admitting to the fact that I had failed. And not just failed myself, I had failed my son, I had failed the people that love me, the people that supported me. I had failed in life itself. Because I mean, guys, I was used to being on top of the world. I had my A game. I was the alpha, the wolf, you know, I was the untouchable. I was the one that figured out everything before you even thought about it, you know. I had an answer for literally everything. I had a plan B that I never actually got to because all my plan A's were A-listers. Now, here I am. I'm finding myself at this point where I'm being told you've got severe depression, you've got anxiety. Now I need to be sleeping on pills. I need to find comfort from other people that I don't even know. I need to rely on the talks that I have with my psychiatrist and my psychology. I'm sitting there narrating my story, and to my surprise, actually, most of my sessions, I didn't even know the things I was talking about. I spoke about things that happened when I was even 5 years old. How could I possibly still remember that? But that is what happens when you are a strong person, you are built in that manner. You always tend to take everything else and put it inside one closet where it doesn't really matter. You go through something, you shove it there, you lock and you forget and you move on. Because we never have time to deal with things, you know. We are in a race and you know that I need to get to the finish line and my only competition is me, not anybody else. So if I become behind, that means I'm losing in my own race. Or probably for the athletes, they would understand. If I actually don't hit my personal best, then I might as well just stop running. The race is against yourself and not anybody else. But we do forget to take care of our mental self. This is a very strange topic, especially in Africa, because we are built in a way where we are taught that we are supposed to be strong. We are taught that life is just a journey that we are all learning to be in, but there are some things that are not supposed to affect you. I also recall the day that I heard the word mental health. I was like, me? What? Anyway, I'm not going to dive into that because remember I told you that there's a book that is coming that I wrote and it's called My 21 Days in a Mental Institution. It's soon going to be coming out and that's where you're going to find everything you need to know. For today, all I want to remind you is that you are not alone. No, you do not have to go through it alone. You do not have to suffocate. You do not have to feel like this is the first time it's happening to you. It has happened to somebody else. Even worse has happened. What matters is how you pull through it. And yes, you don't need to pull through it sometimes. Sometimes allow it to hit you down to your bottom so that you can learn how to stand up again. I'm not sitting here smiling to you because I'm saying I'm 100% okay. I'm saying I'm also learning to walk. And I'm saying thank you because you're making this journey much more easier for me. Because you're walking it with me. So I'm very excited. I'm excited because I believe that in our next episode, we will dive deeper. I'll tell you a little bit more about what is inside the book, but I also want to hear what your story is. Come to the comment section if you're ready. If you're ready to talk about it, come and tell me that you are ready. And I'll listen to your story. I'd love to share your story on your behalf, if you may. And if you would like to share your story by yourself, I'm here. We could be sitting here together and I'd be helping you share your story. So guys, mental health and the route to healing is a very messy one. It's not easy. But what is important is that you keep on moving on until you get to the final destination. So yes, please do not forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and please comment. I'd like to hear what you think. I'd like to hear what you want to hear next time on my next video. I'd like to hear what your story is, what you went through. Holding that, I'd like to answer one of the questions that I got that actually resonated so well with me. There's a lady that actually sent me a message and asked me a question and said to me, so what was the hardest part for you being at the mental health institution? Because most people feel like that's where everybody that is not mental stable goes, which is something I'm going to touch on the next topic and explain to you what a mental health institution is all about and the different type of people that actually go there. For me, I think something shifted. I kind of realized that it wasn't just about being there and going to those classes, speaking to the psychiatrist or psychology or the people that were there. It was actually more about coming into terms with my fears. Because remember, guys, whatever breaks you and puts you to that point, it's not what you already knew. It's something you didn't know. It's the fears that were hidden behind every other thing that you never thought. As much as you got everything together, there's a fear that comes with it. And the biggest fear for people that are strong is actually failure. So for me, being in that mental health institute was more about realizing all my fears and learning how to deal with them. Thank you very much.
You know what I mean?